Alright, hello folks and welcome back. We're going to go ahead and give this Planet on 102 another shot here. This is part of the infrastructure of Infinity. They house an awful lot of Aquin on here that they use to take planets from people on other maps, namely the new players that come along. So we're going to go ahead and get everything set up here, and hopefully we can get this taken in time so either A, he doesn't see it, or B, we can actually contend with whatever he may throw at us. Anyhow, let's go ahead and begin the setup. And I already did the pre-staging of the maps. So I'm not going to show that again in this round here. You've seen it. You kind of get that picture now. But yeah, I'm going to show the setting up of everything here. So we're going to go ahead and count up 30 again from the very top. That gets our maximum distance that I'm going to put the Karls at here. 85, 75, and 65 is the max you can put them away. I mean, you can put them actually 3 more notches back, but 65 is generally the best. So let's go ahead and get these in place. HEK is going to give us a hand with his Karls too. He's got a bunch on this map as well. Gypsy and Ian are also going to be giving us a hand. And Ian is going to be providing a good amount of the ammunition like last time. I'm going to be providing just about all of the fodder here. Now there can come a point where you actually have too many Karls and you've got to burn through too much ammunition in order to feed them all. This is going to wipe through ammunition very, very quickly. We're going to be using like 24 Karls here. I'll get a final count at the end once we're done set up. There's positives and negatives to it. Positives is, you go through planets much quicker. The negatives are they use so much ammunition. You got to make sure you have plenty on hand. I wish they would find a way to. I wish they made a button to turn on and off these pop-ups. For whatever particular map you're on, you can turn them off when you don't need them. You can turn them back on when you need them again. They are so irritating. Now we're going to start with the defenses. This looks like quite a nice setup. I think we're going to have a problem with these back Karls not shooting. I think they're just a tad bit too far away. I'll find out here soon. Alright, Ian is going to burn off his Aquin here first so he can provide most of the ammunition. That's really going to help us out here. You can have multiple people helping you out taking out a planet, especially on a heavily contested map such as this one. That's going to be your best bet. Let's see how many of these are actually at a range too. I'm sure there are going to be several. They look way too far back. Some of them anyway. I'll try to make some more room for him. Move this down a little bit. All right. Now I'm gonna turn that sound off. There we go. Once again, this is a very, very heavily contested map. Which you can glean from this. You can glean how to set up your Karls, how to set up defenses, what ships you should or shouldn't use. And as you can very clearly see here, the more people you have to help you out, the better. Last time, I think we got about halfway through, and we noticed, or rather, Joe noticed that we were taking one of his planets. So we have these Rabos here as sentries, kind of to let us know whenever he, I mean, if he sees us, he's obviously going to come again. So if we can get as much advanced warning as possible, that's going to help us get everything away to safety. There's a lot of resources and heavy ships and even defensive ships right here. You know what, if I were him, I would station stuff around, or at least try to go around the other side here. Gotta move the ships here real quick. Staged them in the wrong area. We're gonna do this to try to get Rick here on this particular map. Using Wents as soon as, or you can use Aquin too, but really Wents are the best to use between guns 20 and 30. They take the longest to destroy. They allow the Karl guns to fire the longest. Generally speaking, you're not going to find a better ship to start out with. Once you get to around 20, you can switch to Celowinos, and really you can finish off with Celowinos if you want. Let's go ahead and some of our other maps here. Yeah, let's not use that one. Let's get the sign out down here. I don't know if it's just because part of this game is poorly coded, but it takes several times often to try to get anything through the wormhole, especially if you're trying to do it in any kind of speed. It's really irritating. As far as I know, there's nothing you can do about it other than trying to click on it a few times to make it go through a little more quickly. See what I mean? We used to go after his stuff so much on here that he would keep the entire map shielded. And little did I know that that was a bad wormhole that I was sending everything through. Figures. You have to change things up now. I think there's one to the right. It's up here a little further. Nothing I can do about that. What I can do is switch back to map 70 because this is a good one. Being off map is kind of nerve-wracking because you don't know what's going on the other side. You have to rely on anybody else that may be on that map to sound the warning as to whether or not someone's coming or not. I think Fort got a few planets on this map as well, but for the most part it's just Joe and Dawn. I don't know if Dawn actually plays anymore. If he doesn't, his count is probably controlled by Joe. If not Joe, definitely Fort. And now that we have some room, we gotta start building fodder again. We're gonna need here. I'm sorry, not ammo. We're going to need fuel here. This game burns through it so incredibly quickly. While that's transferring, let's go to map 42 and we start our fuel production. Generally speaking, there are several ways you can go about taking a planet like this. The most cost efficient isn't necessarily what takes the least amount of time. What takes the least amount of time is actually the most costly way to take a planet, and that's what we're doing here. We're using fodder, we're using lots of Karls, and we're using lots of ammunition. The lots of Karls will always equate to lots and lots of ammunition. We could do it with only 6 Karls. For the most part, 6 is the minimum that you want to use. But we could do it with only 6 Karls. The only problem is it would take an awful long time. And because time, especially here, time is always of the essence. We don't want to use any more time or have it take any more time than is necessary. While my Wents are getting into position, I want to move some some ammunition into position here. Just in case Ian doesn't have enough or can't get to it in time, we need to make sure we can be able to supplement what he is bringing as well. So we go to map 72 and map 63. These are my primary ammunition production maps. From here, because I have a relatively small amount of planets, it's a little bit cheaper to produce them here than, say, on a map with a whole lot of planets where I'm going to have to queue up a whole lot of resources in order to do that, which in turn is going to cost a ridiculous amount of titanium. Again, over and over. Once you get so far in the game, it is all about your conservation of resources because of the enormous expense. We are definitely going to need ammunition here. I think we've got someone 208 standing by. Yep, here we go. I didn't check to see where this pops out at. Oh, it looks like we're good here. He didn't say anything. If you had time, if you're on a map where you have lots of these types of planets, but your target isn't active, the best and probably cheapest thing you can do is just make cell, transfer them to this map, or transfer them to whatever map you're targeting. And just throw those in over time, toss in a few MAU groups as well. It'll end up saving you a lot in the long run. You won't have to use ammunition, you won't have to use Karls, you won't have to up your military strength in order to bring more Karls over. You can just do it on your leisure. Yes, it's going to take a lot more time, but in the long run, if your aim or your goal is to save titanium, that is your best route. Looking pretty good here. Gonna go for some more fodder now. Once you've worked with everybody for quite a long time, I'd say at least a few months, you'll end up getting to the point where you work together like a very well-oiled machine. And some of us in Prometheus, we've been together for 3.5, 4 years even. You know what, I wouldn't say quite 4 years. I'd say between 3 and 3.5 years. And we're to the point now where, and you'll eventually get like this once you learn the ins and outs of the game and how you work and interact with each other. But you'll end up knowing what to bring without even having to ask the group. You'll kind of know your place, know exactly what your best role is, and you'll just end up doing it. It works out great. Good thing about MAU is they divert fire for a little bit to kind of give everything else a breather here and to make what you have last longer. A lot of times when you're working with large groups of ammunition, you want to use the ammunition as fodder, so you end up having to move everything out so your ammunition gets targeted first. That's actually what I'm going to do here. Ian has a lot of ammunition that he needs to dump, and I'm going to move it out so we can get rid of it here. See, we started at 30 guns, we're already at 13. This has gone nice and quickly thus far. He hasn't shown up, which means he hasn't seen it yet. Hopefully it stays that way. Because we have all these heavy assets here, we're not able to stop him coming with all the groups of Aquin that he has. If we didn't have all this, we would be able to take what he has down very easily. Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, we know where his at least we know where the Aquin are stationed at. What we can do is we can target it and take it out. That's a lot of production time and ultimately a lot of resources expended that he is going to lose. Another trick you can do for the end, I may do it here just in case he comes. There is a slight chance that we could actually overwhelm him, even though he has so much Aquin that he can bring to bear. I have a lot of groups here, and I have a lot of groups free when I don't have anything else here like ammunition and fodder. What I can do is I can bring over a ton of Aquin. From there, I can leave 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 groups open and leave that exclusively for MAU. So what I can do is I can target the planet with all these Aquin, then just use the MAU to divert the fire from the Aquin onto the MAU. I get the firepower from the Aquin firing on the planet, and I can also remove these to go after his Aquin mass and still take the planet at the end. It's a win-win situation. And I'm gonna grab some more. Got Ian's ammunition. I'll grab a few more here myself. I can get rid of some of these munition groups here. Yeah, we're down to 9 guns. I don't even know if he can. Once we get down to 5 guns, unless he's got a bunch of Rabos on here, which he doesn't keep on here anymore, at least as far as I know he doesn't. He used to until I started wiping them out pretty much on a daily basis. He kept losing too much and therefore refused to put anything else back on here. Now, when you see that message, you see it say that I need more military. That means that I need to add more military up here at the top left-hand corner. I'm just over 69,000 when my limit is 69. Now, I could expend the resources, or the titanium rather, and do that, or I can simply remove one of these Karls. Removing a Karl, putting it on another map, is the most economical thing that you can do. There's no need or no reason for you to waste or expend titanium for it. It is a complete and utter waste, especially when you have as many groups as I have here and have as much military as I have here. And actually, It looks like that's actually barring me from bringing anything else over of consequence. So let me go ahead and pick one to send away here. I'll send it to a map where I know it'll be safe. I'll just pop it on map 8 for right now. Now, if he were to start building guns here, I don't think he would be able to get his Aquin over here fast enough in order to stop us from taking the planet. So what he would be trying to do is he would be trying to shield his planet. Shielding his planet makes each gun, each individual blue gun, 3 times harder to get through when it's shielded. So obviously that would extend the time enough that he would be able to get his Aquin over here. So what I would end up doing is I would throw in some of the defenses just to make sure that he wouldn't be able to pop on the shielding. And by some of the defenses, I mean the Aquin. I do not mean the Tigs. Alright. If you can look up here, we removed the Karls, so we have 3,000 more military that we can bring whatever we need over. So I'm going to use that to bring over a few more Aquin groups. Can never be too careful. Ships would respond to commands. I really think they really need to go through this game and fix all the bugs with it. I don't know why they don't. They could have such a large player base and ultimately a larger customer base if they fixed all the problems with this game, and if they just at least tried some of the suggestions that us players give them. We're probably down to around 3 guns now. I'll go ahead and switch back over for the ending in a little bit. Well, actually really quick here. I don't have that much more to get over. Probably gonna need a little bit more ammunition, but not much. See, the thing is, I know Joe is online. I checked his home base earlier. It is there. And it wasn't producing anything, but it was making Wents, so usually that means the individual is online, so he either... Well, really, the only option is he didn't see this, because if, it's not that he doesn't care. If he saw this, he definitely would have been coming. I mean, for those who watched my previous video, he came with full force. He came with everything that he had here. And we did have to pull away. We didn't have a choice. Oh yeah, we're good till the end here. Absolutely. Now, we took this planet in probably about 30 or so minutes. It's not too bad. Our record is right around 22 minutes, though. We had a lot of people online. And a whole lot more Karls. We had about 40 Karls. Gonna make sure he doesn't have anything here hidden, waiting till the end, anything like that. Nope, we are good. Alright, so if he is online right now, he just got a notification that his planet was taken. Well, he hasn't moved anything. Maybe he just happens to not be on right now. I actually much prefer setting up Karls the other way. I much prefer setting them up vertically versus horizontally. Now, I wonder if we could get away with taking the second one here. Let's go ahead and re-up the queue here. Looks like Don's online and he took a gun on map 66. Let's go check that out here. That's why. It's because it's a red planet. If Don's online, or at least whomever's controlling his account is online, that means he has the ability to see what's going on 201. Well, let's see if he wants to do this other one here. Same deal with the distance. You count away 30, only you start from the middle in between the words enemy and planet. So 45, 55, 65, and 75. Alright, it looks like we're going to do a double here. I don't think we need to be too picky about the defenses right here. We'll focus on most of the defenses down here at the bottom. That's where we're most vulnerable at. Just a bit too close there. It happens. Not that big a deal. That's not too bad of a setup. Once he burns all this ammunition, at least the empty ammunition, what I will do is I'll burn all the Aquin that we just brought over, because we're going to need to free that up for more groups. Darn it, forgot to fill this map back up. Oh well. We will go here. Man, I forgot to put cues up all over the place. I should have a stash. Oh, MAU. Let's go back to one of our ammunition maps. We need to pull over ammo. That's right, this one's depleted. Now we can go to map 72, the one we were on earlier. A little bit further away, but these ammo groups have a speed of 4, I believe, so they get there rather quick, at least more quickly than your average ship. Because we've sent one over, we want to immediately start the queue again. No, it's not too far away. Before we dump this in here, we need to make sure we have enough ammunition. Otherwise, you're just going to end up wasting your fodder and time, really. And ultimately, titanium. And like I said several times, the more you can mitigate these costs, the better. Let's go ahead and check on our traveling MAU here. Was that 303? I think so. Yeah, we're getting there. I'm only going to use it from here if I have to. I generally use this to store on. I'd rather go to one of the production maps for MAU and use those instead. And oh, that's wrong. I was out of metal here. That's why I didn't produce anymore. All right, let's go to 281. Here we go. Well, that's traveling. Let's go back to 201. What I want to do is free up a couple groups here. Because we have the early warning and because we have the ability to get the Karls away in time, I don't think it's going to be as necessary to have as much Aquin for defenses. Here, that as much as we have right now, that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather up all the Aquin, even the ones used for protection. I'm going to dump them in here. Then I'm going to continuously feed MAU into this here. What will happen is, A, it'll get done a little bit quicker. B will end up using a little bit less ammunition because we'll have the combined firepower of the Aquin, and we'll be able to continuously use the Aquin because we're throwing the MAU in there. Because remember, the planet is always going to divert fire to the bomber class of ship first. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get 2 groups on the map. I generally don't do this, but I kind of want to experiment here. Alright. 2 on map. Let's give it a shot. Alright. Rick's got us covered with ammunition now too. This is perfect. We'll be able to get this done much quicker. And from subsequent planets here on out, the more people you can get on a map, the better. We're just going to use all this. See how this works out here. Now, because we're using this method, we're going to have to pull them in and out several times so we can dump the ammunition. And inevitably, we are going to lose some Aquin here. This is not a foolproof method. We would need a lot more MAU, which, you know, quite honestly, we can do. Yeah, these are getting burned too quickly. I'm going to pull them out of here. I can't get MAU faster. Or rather, I can't get MAU fast enough here. In order to make this worth it, I'm just going to end up wasting all this. And I'd rather not do that. Okay, time to go back to regular fodder. And while that's traveling, so you don't waste time, go to a different map, start your transfers. Generally speaking, the closer you can get this to your target map, the better, but obviously you're not able to do that all the time. Oh, actually, remember, I just remembered, this dumped right on the planet when we tried it before. That's why I pulled it up there to begin with. Yeah, that worked out well. We'll check on our main fodder here in a few minutes. Yeah, we should be pretty close here. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get this over here. This is probably the longest time span other than when he's sleeping that I have ever seen Joe offline. I'm surprised no one has even gone to this map to take a look. Now, granted, they don't necessarily have a reason to, but a lot of times they scan maps that everybody is jointly on, or they share their passwords with each other so they can check on each other's things. I'm just very surprised no one has seen these yet. You aren't always this lucky. You know what, we might as well start moving down some of the freshly made fodder that we have as well. Nine chances out of 10 we're going to end up using it anyway. Now, snake it down right through here, then we'll move it over. Alright, since this has arrived, go ahead and pop it in here. Our ultimate goal is to make it as difficult as humanly possible for Infinity to go to new maps in the future and prevent new players from coming in. This, granted, we got our work cut out for us, but this is the way to start doing it. Cutting out or starting to cut away from their infrastructure. That's precisely what I would do if, you know, the roles were reversed. But this is the best and most efficient way to do it. Trying to get them on their new maps and trying to protect the new players, while we do that, it's much more difficult than you might think because they bring so many accounts over. Now we can counter with that many accounts, but it ends up being a battle. It ends up just being a battle of whose is the biggest. It doesn't really strategically do much. This, on the other hand, this will. Alright, so we are down to 20 guns. It's actually not too bad. Again, this is going very smoothly, nice and quickly. Alright, next map. Now we can go to 217 for fodder. That's a little bit too... I should have pre-staged this. I have to bring it all the way around now. Oh, where can we go next? 321. I think I moved that stuff down. Yeah, here we go. Not entirely sure where it pops out on the map. Find out in a few minutes here. It looks like this pops up not too far away. Actually, relatively close. This is a good wormhole here. And as always, we restart the production. This one I can do 2 planets at one time. And produce fodder or this Cyno for free. For free, what I mean is the infrastructure's in place, so the planets create enough resources on their own that allow me to produce the fodder for minimal costs, really just the cost of Titan to queue it, which is fantastic, especially when you take as many planets as we do. That'll be in my video about, well, I'm actually right now I'm up to a 2-part video of how to mitigate your expenses when you're playing this game, regardless of the level that you're at. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Where are we at? Oh, there we go. 321. And from the looks of it so far, we are still good. He either isn't on or has not seen us. I would venture a guess he's not on. Because he definitely would have seen the pop-up on his end whenever you end up taking a planet. The person you take it from gets a pop-up notification that says, you lost a base on such and such a map. So he clearly hasn't seen that yet. Gotta let this ammunition, the empty ammunition, get burned off here. And just for the sake of doing so, let's quick patrol. You know, if it were me, it would be much longer, but if I had at least a dozen guns left, I would start making my way around. Come up from the ass end here, and just come right in there. We would have enough time to react, but for sure they would get a few of them. I would actually come right in through here, down on top of the planet, because our escape route is going to be that way, so he's going to essentially block our escape route because we can't go this way. It would be foolish to go down or back. The only way we have to go is up here. Alright, time to dump this in here. Alright, so we're down to 10 guns now, 5 groups open. What do we need? Well, HEK is getting some ammunition. Ian, 9 chances out of 10, he's doing ammunition too. It looks like I am back on fodder. I'm going to go ahead and start the trek down here. Go back to map 321. Actually, now would be the perfect time to use the Aquin and the MAU method, but we have so many Karls, therefore we're going to have so many extra ammunition groups. We might as well use them for the fodder and save the Aquin. Or really save the MAU, actually, because you'd be losing the MAU. You wouldn't be losing the Aquin because you would be using the MAU to pull the fire from the Aquin. Remember, the guns of a planet, they fire in a certain order at certain ships first. We're down to 6 guns here. It's not going to take us that much longer at all. Looks like we might need some ammunition. Might have to go get some. Yep, definitely gonna need ammunition. Ian just brought cell instead of ammunition. No, that's okay. We'll make it work. Map 72. We're going to pull the ammunition out. I'm sorry, not the ammunition out. We're going to pull the sign out so the ammo can burn. There we go. By burning the empty ammunition first, we're going to free up groups for each of the players that are taking this planet here, so we can bring in more ammunition. It may be a teeny bit faster using the cell here, but we're going to need the ammunition before we need these. And besides, there's more than enough ammunition here to finish off this planet anyway. Along the bottom here. Quite honestly, it's good to do that as much as you can. Now, here's a strategy you can use. Say that you don't have enough ammunition. Oh, what's that? Oh, wow, I forgot about those. Anyhow, say you didn't have enough ammunition to finish off the planet. Mathematically, this shouldn't work, but for whatever reason it does. If you take away, say, half of these Karls with ammunition remaining and only allow the first half to shoot, once the first half has depleted all of their ammunition, you bring the Karls with the remaining ammunition back in to finish it off. It works. Now, it doesn't make any sense why it should work, because exponentially, the more Karls you use, the faster the guns go down and the more ammunition you use. And that is supposed to be proportional regardless of the number of Karls and ammunition used. So it shouldn't work, but it does work. So if you're ever in a bind and you don't have enough ammunition and you're using a ton of Karls like this, go ahead and pull half your Karls, use its ammunition, then do the rest. And that's what you call an excellent success. Two of many, but we're going to get it done. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you want to see specifically, please let me know down in the comments and I will absolutely make a video about it for you. My friends, thank you for joining me today, especially for this really long video. I greatly appreciate it. I'm still working on the other videos that I said I was going to be working on, namely the how to mitigate your expenses with regards to this game, and the one that gets asked of me the most. How do you get on a new map as an established player? I said several times before, it is very difficult because of what individuals do to brand new maps, and hopefully this will eventually in time help mitigate it. But I am still planning with a few other players that I work with here to hopefully be able to show you, if not organically, in a simulated fashion, how to get on a new planet, or a new map rather, if you are an established player, or even a player with just a couple maps. And you can't do it anymore because there's no easy planets on the new maps anymore. It's not your fault. There's nothing you can do about it. But where there's a will, there's a way, and I am determined to figure it out and to show you, because you can't just do what we normally used to do. You used to be able to go to a brand new map with one Karl. You would find planets there with 3 to 5 green guns. You don't even see green guns in this game anymore. They don't freaking exist. So we're in the process of figuring out how to do it, how to show it organically if we can, and if not, in a simulated fashion. But either way, I'll make a video about it. I will get it done and show you guys. Alright, enough of my rambling. Thank you for joining me, my friends, and take care.